Here you are going to be the first woman to solo host the Golden Globes.
Yes.
What an incredible achievement. How does that honor sit with you?
I'm thinking about it. Oh, first woman solo to host the Golden Globes. I'm like, do I need to like walk with my car keys out on stage between my fingers? Like, do I need to have my mace ready? It feels really cool. I mean, it's like, it's when you uncover things like that where you're just like, I'm just like doing my life, living my life, pursuing this career. I never really think about those kinds of achievements where you're like, oh, that's kind of cool. Okay, yeah. Why haven't they trusted us to do this alone before? I don't know, but I'm glad they're doing it now.
Yeah, and you're the one that's going to be doing that.
Thank you.
Okay, what's a film or what's a project or a person that you're looking forward to highlighting? Because you said on Instagram, you said buckle up. So what should we be getting ready for?
I would say the hardest one to make fun of is going to be Wicked because it's so protected. Everyone's so obsessed with it. It was so much fun. The press tour was insanely hilarious. Like how serious the crying and the emotions, the holding space, all of that. It almost seems like the sacred entity that you can't really touch or make fun of. Yeah. But that makes me go, well, then we got to. Exactly. And it made billions of dollars. I think they're doing all right. I can say a couple jokes, but that'll be like, that's the one that I'm really looking forward to finding the perfect way to skewer, because I think if I'm able to make Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande laugh about themselves, which we've seen them do, but it takes maybe a couple weeks for them to catch on to the joke that maybe we're all making. Right. But when they finally do, like they both obviously have great senses of humor, but my goal is to make a joke that they both laugh at, because if they laugh, then the whole room will just break and go, okay, let's all have fun. If those two can laugh at a joke about themselves, then anyone can.
You're also nominated this year alongside Jamie Foxx, Seth Meyers, Rami Youssef, Ali Wong. I mean, that honor alone. And hosting.
I know. That's been really cool. My special has resonated with people. It was nominated for an Emmy and a Grammy and now this. And I'm going to be hosting, and then maybe I get to like accept an award. Like, it would be the coolest night of my life. It's already going to be the best night of my life, but that would really be the icing on the cake. But if I don't win, it'll also be fine because that'll be really funny and I'll do like a bit about it.
I mean, of course you would, right?
Yeah.
Of course. I got to say, you gained so many fans from the Tom Brady roast. You crushed it.
The only thing dumber than you saying yes to this roast was when you said, hey, babe, you should try jujitsu. I think that's gotta suck.
You crushed him. You demolished him.
Thank
and
you.
It was quite funny, I must say. But how much will the Globes be a little bit of that roast? Will it?
Yeah, I mean, I think I got the Globes because of that roast. I think that people saw what I was capable of in terms of like a live event that's really a high pressure situation of like, you really got to nail it. Like that to me felt like an Olympic balance beam performance in terms of comedy. Like I couldn't make any mistakes. It's live. I couldn't edit anything out. You can't juice up the laughs.
But
like
your preparation was insane for that moment.
That was really what prepared me for this moment. Was I'm just repeating exactly what I did for that, and I'm doing it again, even being even more meticulous. And I'm going to roast, but it's gonna have to be a little bit nicer because this isn't a roast. These people aren't being paid to like sit there and have jokes told about them. Right. I'm hosting an event that is there to honor them, so I have to do that too. I'm gonna do both. Yes. So I'm going to roast, but it's gonna be a little bit more of a covert mission. Like I'm gonna get in the jokes, but you're gonna have to I have to be a little bit more sly about it, so they don't feel it as much. Because you don't want to make a joke and then it cuts to them and they're like so mad, because then at home you're like, she sucks. So I have to make sure they all like me in the room, and then the people at home will really hear what I'm really saying.
Of course, it's subtle shade for this Hollywood crowd.
Subtle shade, thank you.
I mean, because you still want to get an invite to the after party.
I want to invite to the after party, and I want to be invited to host next year and the year after. Like, I hope this is a gig that I can just count on every year, because I've been really loving the process. I really appreciate the honor of it. Like, I know the weight of it. I'm not like just phoning this in. Like, I'm working harder on this than I've ever worked on anything in my life. So I hope to do it again and again.
You reached out to Ricky Gervais to ask him for some tips. So what wisdom did he share with you that you're going to inject into your show?
He said, you're not them. You're not them. Don't pretend to be them. You're not an A-lister. He was just like, you're not an actress. You're not one of these elites. And as much as it hurt to hear, no, I of course know that, but that was important to hear, because I think sometimes us like dirty comedians get invited to these things and we're like, I guess I'm one of them. And you start to get a big head, and that like is the least funny thing ever to think you're cool. And so there's no part of me.
You are cool, Nikki. You were the coolest.
But in a different way than Nicole Kidman is cool. You know, like I know my place in show business, and I think his note was really crucial because it's like, just be self-aware. Just know who you are and know what got you there. Don't forsake that. Like, still give us that, and be a comedian. Don't try to be like this poised, like gracious, like lovely, just holier than thou actress type sort. Yeah. Even though that is a type of person that I love and admire, I'm not her.
We love your edgy humor and behavior in your sets and everything. So how are you gonna like balance that for this show?
Yeah, it's a balance. So it's like, it's my whole motto for this whole thing is fawn and then flame. So like, tell them how much I love them and really mean it. I mean, like, I'm watching everything so I can sincerely say to these people, we only roast the ones we love. So I'm really coming from a place of extreme admiration. These people are on the highest of pedestals for me, but then I'm going to knock them off. I've never been to the Globes. This is my first time being invited. That's what I want from my host, is to kind of call these people out, but also, have the job of making it a fun evening that doesn't make everyone feel awkward. I'm not there to make things awkward. I want everyone to watch and not have to hide behind a pillow like, why did she say that? Oh no, that person's so bad now.
We don't need any cringe moments. And I have a feeling we're not going to get them from you.
I don't want that moment of Chrissy Teigen's face, like, I don't want that. No meme moments.
No meme moments like that. Maybe from your parents, though.
Yeah, let's have that. My mom can make that Chrissy Teigen face for sure.
Yeah, they're gonna come to the show.
Yeah.
So your first show, their first show, the Golden Globes. How exciting! And who are you most excited to be in that room with this year?
I mean, I'm a huge Martin Short fan, so I'm most excited to see him. I read his book earlier this year, and I was like sobbing on a plane. I recommended it to all my friends. Like, I'm trying to start a fan group called Shorties, just most like Swifties, but we just love Martin Short. So I'm really excited to see him. Obviously, Steve Martin, Meryl Streep, Selena Gomez, the whole Only Murders table is going to be exciting. And then I just saw A Complete Unknown last night.
And?
He is so incredible. Like, you just don't think there's a way to do Bob Dylan without being like crazy and like almost doing a caricature where you're just like, oh, it's just too much. But it is so subtle. He is just one of our greatest actors of all time, and this performance is as everyone is saying, it blows you away. It made me more of a Bob Dylan fan than I already was. I'm like, I almost want him to put out a record now. It was that good. So I'm excited to see some Chalamet.
Glowing review.
And some Kylie Jenner. Because she's going to be there too.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to see those two?
Yeah.
Okay, have you already thought about how many outfit changes you'll have for the show?
Yeah, I think I have like 6 or 7 or 8. Maybe I'll try to get even more. But yeah, the first outfit I'm walking out in, the monologue outfit's the most important. And I just want to wear something. I'm going for like maybe a Glinda moment so that people are kind of like, oh, she seems so nice. She would never be mean to us or say anything rude. Like, I just want to look like just a pretty princess.
Congratulations, you were named New York Times Comedian of the Year.
Yeah, it's an honor, and I didn't even know it was a thing, and it wasn't a thing until this year. They made it up for me.
I love that.
I love it too.
How did you get the call about that?
My dad just wrote me and said, hey, Comedian of the Year from the New York Times, and I just thought he was like just saying a dad thing, like he likes the New York Times, so like he was just saying Comedian of the Year, and I was like, okay, thanks. But he got a Google alert, and he was the first to tell me.
Oh my God.
It's so nice. It's not something that this has been just a wild year. So many things have come my way that I just always like dreamed about, but always just seemed like, oh, that just happens to other people. That's not going to happen to me.
And believe it, it is happening to you right now.
Finally.